radio check, please. Anyone out there for a radio check? Loud and clear, 16 out.
Hour 1, doing okay. I'm on watch. Will's taking a nap. Maddie's taking a nap. Lots of radio checks and a whole lot of nothing going on. Off to Key West, our first overnight since our last overnight, which was about the most miserable sailing experience we've had. So now's the time that I should be telling you how well the sail is going and how much we're enjoying the sunset. But instead, this is a reminder of why you should always wait until you have favorable weather conditions. It's been awful. Our poor little girl has been so sick. She was crying, I was crying. We were both covered in throw up. So, yeah, it sucks. So, hopefully we'll have a slightly better time this time.
Champagne sailing, darling. Motoring, anyway.
I don't care how many times you've been sailing or how old you are. Every time you see a dolphin, it is like the best. It's just the best. Should get to the bite of Key West right around 8 o'clock tomorrow. So we'll check in, but so far so good.
The passage went fine. I mean, it was no more than 7 knots of wind the whole time. It was flat. The engine ran fine. Can't beat that.
Yeah, easy. 3 hours on, 3 hours off. Maddie's up. A little pissed we're still moving, but yeah. We're good. Yay! We arrived. Yeah, we arrived. Even managed a shower. So, feeling great. Maddie, careful please. Stay up here in the cockpit with me, please. In years past, we would likely have celebrated an overnight with a restaurant visit and a nice cold beverage. These days, it's all about getting Maddie off the boat and on to the nearest playground as soon as possible. Of course, no overnight would be complete without something breaking along the way. things were going so well. What happened?
Okay, so we have a Fisher Panda genset on the boat that we really haven't used at all since we bought the boat, because we've been dockside refitting while not living on the boat. I've serviced a lot of things on the genset. Changed the oil, obviously, filters, new dynamo, changed a bunch of old hoses, flushed and replaced the coolant. For some negligent reason for which I don't really have an excuse, I told myself that it would be okay to run it for a few hours before I got around to changing the raw water impeller. This is what a raw water impeller should look like. This is what ours looked like shortly after I got an overheating fault and the genset cut off. Thankfully, our very complicated little generator has protections on board that shut it down if it starts to overheat. So probably no harm, no foul. I dug this thing out, but now we're missing 3 impeller blades that I'm gonna have to flush out of the system somehow, which is complicated by there's almost no point in trying to show you on camera, because the heat exchanger is buried underneath the block at the very bottom of the housing, so there's no access to it without, we would have to remove the genset from the boat, basically. So I think my only hope is to back flush the system, so run water backwards through the raw water system and hope that 3 impeller pieces pop out. We're now on a dock where we've got nice pressurized hose water. So I've hooked up a hose from the dock into the raw water coolant line on the exit side of the cooling system, right where it enters the exhaust manifold. So it's going to flow water backwards through the system and hopefully pushes an impeller blade or 2 or 3 out from the front of the heat exchanger, which is where I'm guessing that they're living. See what happens. Fuck.
Did it come out? What?
That was absurdly effective.
I said, watch, it's gonna take us 10 minutes and then we can go play. Totally joking.
Alright, so I'm going to pull these blades out. I would imagine there's a bit more in there. So I'll get these out, and then what I'm going to do is try to jigsaw puzzle them back together to make sure that I've got all of them.
Feeling pretty good.
They usually don't go that easy, so that's a pretty big win.
Okay, so it is our last day in Key West. Will's on the boat working on some alternator stuff. We're having trouble with our charging. Maddie and I are gonna go to the Butterfly Conservatory Museum, which we went to a year ago and was great, but I think now she's gonna love it because she's older. Do story time at the library, go to the playground. Our cruising activities so far have proved to be quite different with a child in tow, but we're seeing a different side so far of what these islands have to offer, so that's great. And yeah, should be a pretty fun day. Key West before 10 a.m. is a very different place than it is during the afternoon and bustling evening. All of the shops are closed. There's a lingering smell of spilled beer, and the streets are empty, save for the chickens and lizards that have the right of way. We spent the next hour enjoying the quiet beauty of the Butterfly Conservatory before meeting up with Will for yet another playground-filled afternoon. Come on, honey, let's go see butterflies. In the next episode, we head to Marathon. Where we get ourselves and the boat ready for our cruising season in the Bahamas.